Well, hey guys, what is up? It's Monday, which means it's time for Quotes of the Week. It's also November in Chicago, which means it's freezing outside, and, well, you can't see my window, but it's snowing. And I have mixed feelings about that. It was nice the first time, now it's just kind of cold. But anyway, I want to say welcome back to my channel, Gospel Simplicity. It's a place where we are passionate about the beautiful simplicity and transformative power of the gospel. We're out to talk about life, Jesus, and the journey of faith in a real, honest, and open way. So if that at all interests you and you haven't subscribed already, I'd really encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below to become a part of what we're doing here on this channel. Well guys, as I said, it is time for Quotes of the Week. Today I just have 3 quotes for you, not because there weren't good quotes in my reading, but because I don't want this video to be super long, and truthfully, I have a lot of studying I should probably be doing right now, but I want to get this video out to share it with you guys because there is some really good stuff in some of the things I've been reading this week that I think can impact your life. So to jump right into it, the first quote I want to give to you is from Oswald Sanders, and it's in his book Spiritual Discipleship, and he says this. It's real short, but it's so good. He says, "Eyes that look are common, eyes that see are rare." And in the context in the book, he's talking about a time in Matthew 9 where Jesus is going out and he's teaching in the synagogues. He's going all throughout the countryside and healing the sick. And it says that when he saw the crowds, he being Jesus, when he saw all these people, he had compassion on them, for they were like sheep without a shepherd. They were going astray, and he was there to bring them back into the fold, to teach them, to make them well, both spiritually and physically. And the thing he's really picking out on here is that Jesus truly saw these people as they really were. So often we can look, right? We look around and, oh, person, like we notice that there's people, but do we really see them? Do we see their needs? Do we see that they are people created in the image of God in desperate need of a Savior? And then are we moved with compassion because of what we see? This actually reminds me of one of the very first, I think it was the second video I ever made on YouTube. I'll link it up there somewhere. And you can check it out. It was called Invisible People, and you can see how awkward I used to be, like even more awkward than now on camera. But I was picking up on this very same idea, actually, like how often do we go through life and we don't truly see people? And I want to encourage you as you go through this week, the people in front of you, don't just look around and notice that they're there, but really see them as God sees them. And this is convicting to me because I pass so many people every day. I mean, I'm in downtown Chicago, homeless people, rich people, people all over, but so often I don't really see them. I look, but do I see? Great quote there. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, guys, the next quote for you guys today is from a guy also with the first name Oswald, but last name Chambers this time. And the quote says this: "If you are willing to give up only wrong things for Jesus, never let us talk about being in love with him. Anyone will give up wrong things if he knows how, but are we prepared to give up the best we have for Jesus Christ? The only right a Christian has is the right to give up his rights. If we are to be the best for God, there must be victory in the realm of legitimate desire as well as in the realm of unlawful indulgence." That's powerful, and what he's getting at there is something that can be uncomfortable, because oftentimes early in our Christian walk, we can begin to clean up the really apparent sins. Like, we stop doing the things that, okay, we know that's bad. Like, we just shouldn't do that. That's pretty obvious. And then we think that once we've done that, like, man, I'm pretty good. Like, I'm a good Christian. Like, I'm kind of impressed with me, and God's probably pretty impressed with me too. But that's simply the wrong way of seeing things. You see, the truth is, being a Christian is about more than just giving up bad things. About laying down everything at the feet of Jesus. It's saying, God, take my life. Don't just take the bad things out of it and replace it with your goodness, but like, take all that I have. Take the best things in my life. I give them to you because I place them in your loving hands, right? We fully surrender to God, both because he is worthy and we know that he is a loving Father who isn't out to get us, but we fully trust him and we say, God, I recognize that I'm not a good leader for my own life. I mean, that's what the Christian faith is about. And that can be a very humbling thing to say, but we have to get to that point where I say, you know what, God, I'm lousy at leading myself. Will you lead me? Will you be Lord of my life? I choose to walk in your footsteps. That's what I want, God. And I hand all I have to you. So if that means you have to take things from me that are not even inherently sinful, but aren't for my best, then do that. The job you might have, it's probably not sinful, but maybe it's leading you away from Christ, and oh, that's missing the mark, and so we're gonna get rid of that. Or maybe that person you're with, that boyfriend, that girlfriend, like they're not a bad person, but they're leading you away from God, and that means, okay, you know what? Actually, I lay down this good thing to you. Our relationship's good, but I lay it down. Or this talent I have, I thought it was really good, but I'm not using it in a way that's being redeemed by you. So, I lay this down. In fact, I lay all of myself down, giving it to you. I surrender, unconditional surrender to the will of God. That is what it means to be a Christian. We lay aside our needs and our desires and say, God, fill me with you. I want to follow you and not myself. And so that's what it's really about. All right, third and final quote for you guys today comes again from Pete Greig, which last week we talked about whether or not that's the right way to say it. I'm just going to go with it, and it's from his book, How to Pray, A Simple Guide for Normal People. And in it he says this: "It is impossible to grow in faith without growing in faithfulness. And it is impossible to grow in faithfulness if all your prayers are answered right away." And in this he's addressing the very difficult topic of unanswered prayer. And I'm not going to say that this is a one-size-fits-all answer that describes all of the instances where prayers go unanswered and say, this is why. It's simply too big of a topic, and that would be doing it an injustice, and that's not what he's trying to do either. But it is important for us to realize that God isn't a vending machine. He's not an ATM. It's not like just whatever we say we get back from him. Sometimes we ask many times, and our answer is wait, and then we get a yes. And in fact, he talks here about how when Jesus says, ask, seek, knock, the verb tense of those Greek verbs is actually in this present continuous where it's really like keep on asking, keep on knocking. And Jesus tells parables of, people who kind of like nag these judges, and they keep asking, and he's not necessarily making an exact parallel, but what we're being shown in Scripture is like it's not wrong to ask repeatedly. And in fact, in so doing, we grow in our faith. I'm going to try to pick some of this up again because it's really so nuanced, and I don't want you to miss it. That we grow in faith by growing in faithfulness, right? Faithfulness is just that steadfastness, that continual trust. That is what grows our faith. But in order to get that faithfulness, it requires repeated asking. If we asked and just got it every time, we wouldn't really be growing in faith. It would just be this static thing. I don't know, I say anything and I get it. But sometimes it's in that wrestling with God where we really begin to grow and experience life in our faith. So I just want to encourage you with that. I'm not saying that's the reason some of your prayers have gone unanswered. I'm not qualified to answer that, and I don't think any of us are. But consider that. Consider how perhaps God is actually growing you through this. And perhaps if you saw things from God's lens, maybe giving you something is actually less important than growing your faith. Because of our just temporal perspective, so often we think about what we need right now. But in God's perspective, he's looking in light of eternity. What do we really need most? Perhaps it's not the thing that you're asking for. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I truly, truly appreciate that. I hope that it's made an impact for you. I hope it gave you some things to think about, and even more so, some things to implement into your life in this next week. If I could shake your hand and tell you how much I appreciate you, I would do that, but you're just going to have to trust me on this one. I want to say, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click like, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you thought, and as always, if you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe to become a part of what we're doing here on this channel, Gospel Simplicity. Well, until next time, guys, be sure to be on the lookout for more videos and go out and love God and love others, because that will change the world. Peace. Love you guys so much. See you next time.